you don't actually know how much you're worth. The person is going to decide how much this thing is worth, not you. It has nothing to do with your worth. It has more to do with the industry that you're going to work in. Let's not increase our worth. Let's just increase the scale. What is your worth as a photographer and videographer, okay? I have a lot of photography and videographers online saying, listen, I want this client to pay me my worth. How much is that? Let's figure it out. All right, how much is your worth? Oh wait, I forgot, you got the YouTube stuff. Subscribe, like, share, tag, wait, figure it out. So people are trying to figure out, right? I have clients, right? But clients aren't paying me what I feel like I'm worth. But the thing is, you don't actually know how much you're worth. And let's figure out what your worth actually is. Now, there's something called your worth is not based on you, is based on the industry or the type of thing that you're shooting. So for example, there's something called a value scale. Okay, let me write it down here. Value scale. This right here is the best way I can explain it. Basically, what this means is, this is how much someone is willing to pay you based off the industry that you're working in. Let's jump in here. Now, value scale is not necessarily like a real thing, like something that it's maybe in the Urban Dictionary or something like that. I don't know. It's something I made up to sound cool to me. But this is a term that I created that it just makes sense for what we're doing. So for example, let's create this. Let's say we're doing consumer gigs, right? Okay, consumer gigs. These are basically one-off or one-time projects. Let's go and write them down. So let's say you're doing proms, portraits, music videos, weddings, and the list goes on and on. For proms, typically, people might charge, I don't know, $300 to $500 for prom. Let's just make it easy. Let's go with $200 for a prom shoot. For portraits, let's go with $300 for a portrait shoot. For music videos, let's go ahead and say $750, okay? Could be more, but whatever. Weddings, let's go and say $2,500. These things vary, right? But if you notice, for whatever reason, we're doing camera stuff, right? We're doing camera work. But for whatever reason, depending on the type of job that we're doing, the price changes. Not because of your worth, right? How dope you think you are. It's the type of thing that you're actually shooting. And the type of thing that you're actually shooting goes to a particular person. And this person is going to decide the value. Come on, y'all. Moving on, you didn't see that. Here's the thing. The person is going to decide how much this thing is worth, not you. Now, if you know that you're going to do camera work anyway, based off of these 4 things, if you have options, which would you much rather do? Probably weddings. Not because you enjoy weddings, it's because of the value of what this person is going to pay you based on the type of thing that you're going to shoot. This person is like, listen, I value weddings because this is going to be memories that's going to last me forever. I'm willing to pay you $2,500, even $5,000 for this wedding, because of what it means to me. Portraits, maybe models or whoever, but what happens is they don't value it the same. Maybe it's a family, maybe it's a husband, wife, and their dog or whatever. The value is not the same. They don't put that much value into it, so the value only goes up but so high. That means I'm willing to pay $300 max. You say, oh, well, I can do a portrait session for $1,000 or $1,500. They're gonna say, it's not that serious. It's not that deep. But this is. Now, I'm not telling you to go and do weddings. What I'm saying is you have a camera and there's a couple of options of things that you can do. Since you know there is a value scale, you get to decide how much money you make based on the industry you want to work in based off this value scale. So meaning it's not that, oh, I need to know my worth or whatever. It has less to do with worth. It has more to do with the scale. And the option is completely up to you, not up to the clients. You usually got to say, hey, proms, I'm going to get about this much for doing proms. I'm going to get about this much if I do music videos. If I do weddings, I'm going to get about this much. And the scale goes up and down depending on the industry. Now, what I recommend that you do instead, there is a different side of this value scale when you're talking about businesses. Now, me personally, I work with businesses, entrepreneurs, brands. So let's call this is a consumer word, but this is like, these are businesses. Businesses also have a value scale. So when you say, you know, Brandon, I want to start doing the same thing that you do. I want to start working with business. I want to start getting retainers, getting paid $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month. Guess what? They have a value scale too. So for example, let's say you want to work with a realtor, right? Because you say, I want to work with a business entrepreneur brand. I want to work with a realtor. I'm gonna give you this in 2 different scenarios so that you can understand this concept. If you work with a realtor, yes, you can get put on retainer, but realtors don't make but so much unless they're like the top 1%. So let's say, for example, they may pay you anywhere between, let's say on the low end, $1,000 a month. Yes, you can land a realtor, you can do the content every single month for $1,000 a month, but you can actually go up in this value scale by working with the second tier, called the broker. This is the person over the real estate agents, okay? The broker has more money, meaning they can probably pay you $2,500 a month, okay? Now you're like, between these two, they're still in the real estate field. Which one would you much rather work with? The agent or the owner? You're like, bet, I'm gonna go and work with the owner. But here's the thing, there's a step above that. As opposed to working with the broker, you can actually work with a real estate investor. And let's say this person can pay you, I don't know, $4,000 a month. Because now this person is doing, they're investing in real estate. That means they got real estate properties. That means they're building properties. That means they're doing fix and flip. They're doing things along those lines. So that means they get more money per deal. They might get $10,000 and $20,000 per deal, meaning they have more capital. They can pay you a lot more than the other two would. The value scale still works when you work with businesses. So even when you come over and say, you know what, Brandon, I'm gonna start working with retainers, just know there's still a value scale in this arena as well. Now here's the thing. Let's say you just get out of the real estate industry altogether. Let's say you wanna work with a healthcare company. This is the medical field. They can probably pay you $10,000 a month just for working in healthcare. This stuff they're doing is backed by the state and things along those lines. They're getting guaranteed paychecks. So there is a value scale in each area that you work in. It has nothing to do with your worth. It has more to do with the industry that you're going to work in, and you let the scale tell you how much this is actually worth, as opposed to you telling yourself how much you feel like you're worth. So what happens is, as opposed to you trying to figure out, this is how long I've been experienced, this is how long I've been in this industry, that stuff doesn't matter. It has more to do with what this skill says. Hope this helps somebody. Make sure you share this with somebody. Make sure you subscribe. If you're somebody who's trying to land retainer clients or get to $10,000 a month as a photographer, videographer, I do free classes often. Then also you can just click anywhere in this description below. I got free trainings. I have free ebooks and things along those lines. So if you want access to anything, make sure you click the link anywhere in the description and get access to some of my stuff. Otherwise, that's it. Let's not increase our worth. Let's just increase the scale. Let's make some money.